Welcome to the FutureIN Coding and Robotics Show, a place where we turn bold ideas into reality, where every young innovator is given the opportunity to make a mark and lead in this ever-changing technological world. At FutureIN, we believe that bold ideas, creativity, and critical thinking can be transformed into innovations that solve problems, impact the society, and change the world. This is a weekly show that is designed to inspire, educate, and empower the next generation of future innovators. Every week, we would explore amazing robotic projects. We would showcase student projects. We would engage in quiz and host insightful panel sessions with industry experts and mentors. Whether you are just starting your tech journey or you're already building something amazing, I want to tell you that you would find this show educating and enjoyable. So stay tuned and get ready to innovate. Welcome back to the show. This month, our team will focus on Sustainable Development Goals 6, clean water and sanitation. Our objective will focus on availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation. On today's episode, I would like to bring up a very interesting guest facilitator that will take us on a smooth journey. He's going to be training us on how we can use simple objects and materials around us to create amazing things that can transform the world. But before I bring up our facilitator, I'd like to tell you a very short and interesting story. And I believe that after this story, you will be excited to create the next innovation that can change the world. Stay tuned. Once upon a time, in the busy streets of Oshodi, Lagos, there lived a 10-year-old boy named Toby. While other children spent their afternoon playing football, Toby loved searching through mechanic workshops and dustbins for broken electronics. His pockets were always filled with old wires, dead batteries, and tiny circuit boards. People laughed and called him the neighborhood dustbin commander. Toby didn't have a laptop or fancy gadgets. What he had was a big imagination and a bigger dream to become a great Nigerian inventor. The biggest problem in Oshodi market was NEPA. Sometimes the electricity would disappear for days. Once the light went off, generators would start roaring everywhere. But Toby's mom couldn't afford a generator. As a tomato seller, she often watched her tomatoes spoil in the hot Lagos sun. One afternoon, Toby looked at the spoiled tomatoes and said, "Mama, don't worry. One day I will build something that keeps your tomatoes fresh without NEPA." His mom smiled and said, "Ha ha ha, Toby, my son. Engineering needs plenty money." But Toby believed he needed something more important, which is an idea. Every day after school, he visited the local library to read old-sized books at night, and inside their tiny Face Me, I Face You room, he worked on his inventions using a small rechargeable torch. It wasn't easy. He faced different challenges. He was at the point of quitting, but when he realized that his mom's tomatoes keep getting bad, he encouraged himself to try again. Then on his 12th attempt, something amazing happened. Using an old styrofoam box, discarded laptop batteries, and a small solar panel he got from an Alaba trader, Toby built a solar-powered cooling box. When he switched it on, a cool breeze flowed out. Omo, it worked! It worked! Excited, he carried it to the market and placed it beside his mom's tomatoes. As usual, NEPA took the light that afternoon. The market became hot like oven, and Toby brought out a cooling box and placed all his mama's tomatoes. By evening, his mom's tomatoes were still fresh. The market women saw this amazing project and gathered around in amazement. Mama Toby, this your boy na correct o. This your boy na elele. News went round and quickly spread. Soon a tech mentor sponsored him to compete in a youth innovation competition in Lagos. At the event, other students arrived with shiny robots and expensive equipment. Toby stood quietly with his simple cooling box wrapped in black electrical tape. When it was his turn to speak, he shared how his invention has helped his mom save her business. The judges were impressed. They didn't see old batteries and tape. They saw creativity, resilience, and a young boy solving a real problem. When the winner was announced, the hall erupted. Toby Adewale had won first place and received a full scholarship to study engineering abroad. Years later, Toby became the CEO of a successful clean tech company providing solar solutions across Africa. One thing Toby never forgot is that big dreams usually start from small places. And that is why Toby had kept a cracked green circuit board he had picked from the Oshodi dustbin. Toby the great inventor. Toby the great and innovative Nigeria.
Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Austin and I'll be the facilitator for today's project. On today's project, we will be working with the Sustainable Goal 6, which is clean water and sanitation. Now, here are the materials we are going to be using for this project. We have cartons here. We have a foam board. Now, this foam board is what we are going to be using for our project today, okay? And I have a glue gun here, okay? I have the cutter for the foam board. I have a scissors for the carton. I have a ruler to take measurements. I also have a pen to jot down my measurements. And I have a straw, which is going to act as a pathway for our water. And I have a bottle here for our water dispenser. I also have a disposable cup for our water dispenser. So here are all the materials. I hope you have yours. Let's get to work. All right, firstly, we want to create the body of our water dispenser. And I am going to be measuring for the bottom part of my water dispenser, I'm going to be using 17 cm, okay? Then for the sides, I'll be using 24.5 cm. Is that taken? Now, I have to cut this to get my preferred shape. Go this and this. Good. I have the first shape here for the water dispenser. Okay. I do the same. I use the same measurements again for the side. 17 cm, 24.5 cm. Now take note that you can use any measurement of your choice, but to get a bigger water dispenser, you should use a larger size like mine. Okay, so I have to cut this. Okay, and same for this. All right, so I have the sides for my water dispenser perfectly cut, and now we need to join them together. Now to join them together, I'll be using my glue gun. All right, I have the sides for my water dispenser. This is going to act as the body. Okay, so let's cut other parts of the water dispenser. Okay, so for the top we have this. Okay, I'm using 17 for the length and 14.5 for the bottom or the width. Then I have my bottle holder. Okay, my bottle holder, I use 17 for the length and also 14.5 for the width. Then I have my base. My base, this is what is going to be holding the body of the water dispenser. 17 cm for the length and 14 cm for the bottom. Now, this is the front cover of the water dispenser. Now I have gotten all the parts I need for my water dispenser. Now join me as I glue them together to bring out an innovation. That's my top. Now for the top, I created a circle around here where our bottle can fit in. Okay, so I just made the measurements of the circle of the bottle and made a cut around. Okay. Now, for my bottle, I'm going to make a hole in my bottle, okay, so as to attach my straw. All right, now I have this, my water dispenser. The body is set, although I'm still going to cover the front. However, I have my bottle here, so I'm going to create a hole in the front where I am going to attach my straw. Okay, so just watch me as I cut in the circle. Make sure it is tiny and not very, very big. However, if it is big, make sure you use your glue gun to cover every space. We want to make sure that no air escapes. Okay, so I have this here. Now there's a little bit of hole here. So now what do? I use my glue gun around it because we don't want to allow air to escape or go in. Now I apply it judiciously to get the desired results. Now, after this is done, I pass this down here for the straw to release water. The next thing we want to do is to fix in our disposable cup under the straw, okay? Then we are going to add water to our dispenser so as to test our work. Now you can see water escaping through from the straw. However, once this is airtight, the water ceases to flow. Now, how is this possible? This is possible because this water dispenser uses air pressure and gravitational pull. Now, when the cover is airtight, okay, when the cover is tight, the bottle is airtight, and there is no release of air from anywhere, the water ceases. But once this is released, the water flows, okay? Tight, and the water stops. So friends, here is the end of this session of our water dispenser project. All right, so for those of us who cannot use the foam board, we can also use the carton to achieve the same results, okay? Remember again, I told you that this works with air pressure. Once the top is released, water flows, and once it is tight, the water stops. So I want us to try this project and submit our entries for review in the coming weeks, okay? I hope to see your project, and I hope to also review your project. Until next time, my name is Mr. Austin.
Thank you, Mr. Austin, for this amazing session. Children, I hope you learned something new today. Right now, I want you to check below this video. You will see a quiz link. I want you all to engage with the quiz, do the quiz, and at the end of the day, I am going to personally pick 5 best children. And don't forget, the idea behind all of this is to challenge the world with our innovations. This is why I want to challenge you all to build an amazing project that is solving a sustainable development goal, but we'll be focusing on sustainable development goal 6, which is clean water and sanitation. You can build a project as an individual, you can build your project as a group, you can build your project as a school, and at the end of this month's edition, we will select the best project. We would also review the project. So the next 2 weeks, we are going to be reviewing all your projects. We are going to be showcasing your project to the world, and this will help us to pick the best projects from all of the submissions that we will get. Also have a special announcement for you. This particular series will run for like 5 to 6 weeks. The last day of this particular series, we will be bringing a guest speaker to this session, and it's going to be a live session where we would have some other children joining me on this session. We would have the opportunity to speak directly with a role model and a mentor in the tech industry. I believe you don't want to miss this opportunity. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.